The purpose of an incident investigation in the workplace is to gather facts and determine what happened, not to establish blame, but to prevent a reoccurrence of a similar type of incident from happening in the future. Incident investigation is one of the most valuable tools and an essential component of all successful incident prevention programs, and it's an important part of a safe and healthy work environment. In this program, we'll discuss the purpose of incident investigation, the skills and techniques necessary to conduct an effective investigation, and how to identify the true root causes and develop corrective measures, and the importance of communication and follow-up. Why is this important to you? Safety is a core value. It's a personal responsibility and requires a commitment and participation from every individual. Safety is not a separate entity, but must be a part of every task performed. Our vision is an injury and incident-free environment. No part of our business is more important than safety. Not only is it the right thing to do, it's the best way to conduct business. Employees are our most valuable resource. Incidents and injuries adversely impact the well-being, performance, morale, and profitability of your site. Proper incident investigation can prevent future incidents and injuries from occurring. The benefits include employee well-being, cost savings, and increased profitability. When an incident occurs in the workplace, something happened that shouldn't have, or didn't happen that should have. The purpose of incident investigation is to determine why and what we could do better. An incident investigation offers the opportunity to gather valuable information and analyze the facts to determine why the incident occurred, including the immediate contributing and root cause are identified. Corrective measures can be implemented to prevent similar types of incidents from happening in the future. The success of preventing future incidents has depended on the quality and integrity of the investigation and the identified creation of the true root causes. Incidents are rarely caused by a single unsafe act or an unsafe condition. The majority of all incidents can be contributed to a combination of one or more of the following causes: equipment, knowledge, or behavior. The key is determining why, not just the immediate cause, but the contributing root causes too. As a participant in the investigation, whether it's a serious or minor incident, your role is extremely important in an incident and injury-free work environment. The quality of your investigation will be reflected throughout the entire corporation. The seriousness and professionalism you display during the investigation will have an impact on your employees and further convey the importance of safety. Incidents are rarely caused by a single unsafe act or unsafe condition, but rather many underlying causes that may be directly or indirectly related. The key to prevention and fixing problems is to discover all causal factors. To accomplish this, investigations must use a systematic approach to ensure that all potential causes, from simple to complex, are uncovered and corrected. All incidents must be investigated. However, the seriousness and frequency of the incident will determine the time and personnel involved in the investigation. All incident investigation should begin as soon as possible, at least within 24 hours of first being notified of the incident. The incident investigation process can be broken down into 6 steps: taking immediate action, gathering facts, analyzing the data, developing corrective measures, implementation, and follow-up. Let's look at each step further. The first step is to take immediate action once an incident occurs. Incident investigation begins with controlling the scene and the initial response depending on the seriousness of the incident. The initial response can be critical not only to minimize further injury or loss, but to also protect evidence necessary to the investigation. Your first concern following an incident is to provide comfort and care to any injured person when appropriate. Basic first aid should be provided. Emergency medical response should be summoned immediately if the injury appears serious or life-threatening. Once medical attention or assistance has been provided to the injured, control the scene to ensure the safety of others and to preserve any evidence depending on the nature of the incident. This may require shutting down or isolating equipment, cordoning off the area, or even suspending operation in that area. Once the area is safe, take actions to ensure the evidence is not moved or altered before it can be documented. Begin to make a list of everyone who was involved with or may have witnessed the event. Witnesses can include those who saw and or heard the event, and those who might have had any information relevant to it, regardless of the severity. Always review the site of the incident. Look for physical evidence, such as oil or liquids on the surface, the weight of objects, poor housekeeping, and signs of wear or equipment failure. Document the position of dials, gauges, tools, and other items. Photos should include both complete area shots as well as detailed, closer shots. Try to capture a recognized landmark in the picture. Include a reference object in the image to represent scale when taking close-up shots. It's a good idea to identify location, date, time, and direction of the shot. Take pictures from the different witnesses' perspectives. Record your observations. Remember, the purpose of the investigation is to determine why the incident occurred. It is very important you identify and talk with all witnesses as soon as possible. Interview the witnesses separately from the injured person and other witnesses. Make sure they have completed and signed the incident witness report. Some people may be hesitant to discuss the incident because of stress, emotions, or fear of discipline. Details of the event may need to be pieced together from several sources. The best method for obtaining information from people is to formally interview them. Interviews are best when conducted as soon after the incident as possible, because memories fade over time or can be influenced by others. When interviewing witnesses, do it in a non-threatening environment, free from distractions and interruptions. Sitting across from the desk in an office can be intimidating to some people. A conference room or meeting room is preferred. Put the person at ease. Don't make the person think that he or she has done something wrong. Never mention or discuss with the employee the cost of the incident to the company, including chargebacks, medical expenses, time involved, property damage, and other costs. Explain to the person before you begin the purpose of the investigation. The objective here is to try to find out what happened so that we can prevent this from happening again in the future. Be objective. In the interview, you're attempting to find the facts. Don't try to steer or influence the witness. Have a list of questions prepared. Allow the person to fully answer the questions. Don't interrupt their answers. Ask open-ended questions that begin with the words what, where, why, how, and when. Avoid making a person feel they did something wrong. Remember, we're just trying to find out what happened. We're not looking to place blame. So what happens next? What you ask and how you ask it can influence the answers. Remember, someone may have been injured. Evidence gathering should continue until you have enough information and facts to establish a sequence of events and the causes to analyze. It is important to spend enough time to ensure that you have all the details necessary. As stated earlier, incident investigation is a systematic process, a process of gathering information and then analyzing it to understand what happened and why, in order to prevent a similar incident from occurring again. The investigation must discover all of the causes. As mentioned earlier, all incidents have one or a combination of the following causes: equipment, knowledge, and/or behavior. By repeatedly asking the question why, you will peel away the immediate and contributing causes, which then reveals the root cause of the incident. The immediate cause is what led directly to the incident. Immediate causes are usually obvious and not difficult to identify. Contributing causes are those that enable the immediate cause to exist. Root causes are the system or performance failures that would have prevented the immediate and contributing causes. What caused this one? The curb? Well, partially. They did trip over the curb, but the fact that the person could not see where they were going because of the box they were carrying is the root cause. How are you going to navigate any number of potential trip hazards if you cannot see where you are going? What caused this one? The box left on the floor? Partially. It would be nice if nothing were ever placed on the floor in our way, but abandoned goods, trash, and debris are a constant possibility at our properties. The root cause was not paying attention. So how could this type of incident have been prevented? Simple. Watch where you walk by scanning ahead. If you are aware of your surroundings and pay attention to where you walk, most slips, trips, and falls can be prevented. You may wish to challenge your findings by asking, "What proof do I have? Are there alternative explanations that could have caused the incident?" If the root causes are not identified and corrected, the likelihood of the immediate cause and incident reoccurring are high. If you don't pull a weed out by the roots, it will grow back. The last 3 steps of the incident investigation process focus on prevention controls. In order to successfully prevent a reoccurrence, the investigation must include the development and implementation of corrective actions. Though incidents and their causes may seem similar in nature, they often contain some form of uniqueness. Once all causal factors of the incident have been identified, corrective actions are developed specifically addressing each identified cause. If corrective actions are only developed for the immediate cause, the probability exists for the incident to reoccur. Corrective actions need to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. Develop corrective actions for all causal factors. Each is important in the prevention of future incidents. Once corrective actions have been developed, a plan of execution needs to be developed for successful implementation. It doesn't do any good to discover the causal factors and develop corrective actions if the actions are not properly implemented. Establish what will be done, how it will be accomplished, as well as target dates for completion. Think beyond the specific scene of the incident when implementing corrective actions if inspection and prevention maintenance procedures are identified. Ask yourself if they should be implemented for all equipment that has moving parts. Behavioral corrective actions require continuous ongoing participation from the manager. Managers must address unsafe behavior every time it occurs. Positive reinforcement is the most effective way to influence behavior. Recognizing and acknowledging an employee's safe behavior reinforces that behavior and influences the safety culture at your site. Safe behavior becomes a habit and expectation. Communication is another important part of the process. But make sure the correct individuals communicate your findings and recommendations to all affected individuals, departments, and profit centers at your site. Determine what forms of communication need to take place and how it will occur. Knowledge and information are valuable tools of incident prevention. Not only is it the right thing to do, it's the best way to conduct business. Incident investigation is an essential part of an effective safety management process. Often, the only difference between a near miss and a serious injury may be only a few inches or seconds. Preventative measures cannot be developed if incidents are not reported and properly investigated. In addition to preventing future accidents, an effective incident investigation process can help prevent questionable claims. The benefits of incident prevention have been well documented. When an incident occurs, take immediate action. Provide prompt medical attention. Document the scene. Gather the facts and evidence. Interview witnesses. Analyze the information to determine all causal factors, including immediate contributing and root causes. Develop and implement corrective actions. Communicate your findings and follow up to make sure you're achieving the results expected. The purpose of incident investigation is to determine how future incidents can be prevented. The manner in which you conduct and perform the investigation sends a strong message and can have a positive impact on safety at your site.